Right, we can get started now.
Yeah, I think
Hello, and welcome to everybody who is attending today. This is our first session in our webinar series, so thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. As you can see, I'm not Natalie. She's unable to make it today, so I'm going to be helping out with this content today. My name is Christina Wilson. I am the head of our customer service team here at EC Credit Control. And this is Sean, who is our New Zealand sales manager.
Hello all.
Now, today, our webinar content should only take about 15 to 20 minutes, and we will have about 5 minutes at the end of it for any Q&A if required. And we are going to be sharing the content of today's presentation as well, and we'll be sending that out to each of you. So now looking at the attendance list here, there are a few business names that I'm familiar with. So you'll know a little bit about EC Credit Control. If you're not familiar with who we are, we're a full service credit management company, and we've been in business for an impressive 30 years, and we've been helping businesses like yours with credit management solutions. So we're going to share our screen now.
Yes, I'm busily just letting people in, so hopefully I can do that at the same time. Look, let me just get this up and running. So hopefully you can all now see a screen. Yes.
Great. Thanks, Sean. Now, during today's session, we're going to be talking you through some of the ways that you can minimise your business risk and, most importantly, protecting your business cash flow. Just to give you some insight on what some of those solutions are, we provide terms and conditions of trade, very important for businesses to have as they disclose your payment terms to your customers, including, if required, any variations to quotations and things like that. It also gives you the ability to request a personal guarantee to protect you from losses. It makes your customers liable for debt recovery costs if required, and allows you to default list a customer in the event of non-payment, which affects their credit rating. So it also provides you with a mechanism to capture all of your customers' information. So that is our terms and conditions of trade. Privacy policies, it is also very important to consider this, particularly with the legalities surrounding how you collect your customers' personal information, how you use their information, and how you store their information. I mean, we help businesses implement their privacy policies and their procedures, and that significantly reduces the impact of any data breaches if that ever occur. Credit reporting, it's important to know who you're doing business with right at the get-go prior to doing any work with them, and it's a really great tool for you to help find out if the customer is going to pay and if they're likely to pay on time. Website terms of use, very much like your privacy policy. If you have a website and you're collecting personal data about your customer, you need to disclose to them how the information you're gathering will be used or not used. PPS registrations for those of you who sell goods on credit, or if you hire out any equipment, registering a security interest on the PPSR allows you to become a secured creditor and puts you in the best possible position to recover your goods in the event of liquidation or if your customer fails to pay. Contractual documentation, we provide a contract service, and it takes the hassle out of having to make a contract for your clients, your customers, your suppliers, or your contractors. There's a range of documents that we provide, such as residential building contracts, commercial service agreements, and subcontractor agreements. And then the ambulance at the bottom of the hill type solution we provide is our debt recovery solution. So when customers don't pay you, our team of resolutions experts are here to help you recover those unpaid accounts. So it just gives you a rundown of the solutions that we've been assisting businesses with over our time. I mean, we did a calculation not so long ago, and just to find out how many businesses we actually have helped over the last few years, and the figure actually sits at an impressive figure of 80,000. So you can imagine how many conversations the team have had over the years. Now, Sean, you look after our team of business support specialists located nationwide. We have these discussions all the time,
Mhm.
right? So how are you able to share with everybody here the types of conversations that the teams are having at the moment in the market? And there's lots of similar stories we're getting, aren't we?
Yeah, thanks, Christina. Hey, look, firstly, you'll see on the slide now at the moment, you can see we've got an extensive team that runs throughout New Zealand. So each of the support specialists here have been with us now for a long time and have a lot of experience and knowledge in this field. So throughout this process, I'll make reference to them. But these people are available to you in your own business and are available to you to pop in and have a chat and so forth like that. But I think I'm sure you'd agree that across a wide range of industry types, New Zealand's small and I guess medium business owners continue to have their daily challenges. Our business support team continue to meet with owners every day, and some of the more prominent discussions include changes, I guess, to or how businesses are noticing changes in their client payment behaviour. So we talk a lot about that. They also talk to us about wanting to spend less time on admin and more time within the business. Precautions they can take to prepare for a lot of liquidations that are currently occurring across New Zealand. What can we do now? And lastly, how can we work with our clients to future-proof their business given the investment in capital that they potentially are making at the moment?
Mm. And from a customer service perspective as well, we're getting a number of clients specifically talking about customer behaviour and payments, and that can be quite telling, right? So what are the telltale signs that something might be going on with this business, with the business?
I think in any business, we all look at our cash flow. Having a healthy business cash flow helps you to run your business effectively. And it's important to be able to plan around payment predictability. So be aware of increased missed payments across your client groups. Identify clients that I guess have always made timely payments. So maybe they've always paid on the 20th or the 21st, but are now starting to lag. So they're turning up on the 31st of the month. And also take note whereby insufficient cash flow has caused a business, which is your client, not to be able to take on new projects. So if your business is feeling, or your client's feeling the effects of cash flow, minimized cash flow, then obviously that's going to roll on to you not being able to be paid with your invoices on time.
Yes, and I guess for those of you here joining us today, it is your cash flow that's important for your business, right? So when you're not being paid, there is a knock-on effect. You may find difficulty paying your team, your suppliers. Perhaps you want to grow your business as well. And not being able to do what you really want to do has an impact on your business. Sean, we do hear that there is a growing problem with arrears and missed payments. We have partnerships throughout New Zealand that also provide that information. What is it that EC Credit Control can do to ensure that our clients are protected?
Look, despite that growth in late payments, and I think all companies across New Zealand are starting to see that a little bit now, we sort of, the EC team are available to guide you through some of the best practices. Yes, we can alleviate a lot of these issues. Some of these issues will always occur, but it's all about how we can maximize your cash flow, because having cash available makes business run a lot easier. So firstly, minimize your risk with clear agreements. So from day one, make sure those agreements are in place. Have an internal process when you're onboarding new clients, and I know a lot of businesses do that, but also think about the trading relationship you have with current clients, because sometimes we can get a little bit sort of back off on what documentation is required for that. So just ensure you're on top of that, and importantly, get paid on time. If you don't, have a plan in place to deal with that and recover those unpaid invoices.
So Sean mentions having a plan. We've tried to make it as easy as possible for our clients. So there is a 7-step process to manage customer payments. Many of our clients have found that quite useful. And you'll see on this slide, it's based on a 30-day payment run, but you can tailor it to suit your business and your processes. So I'm not going to go into this in too much detail, but we will send this to you, obviously. So we suggest working on a 30, 15, 20 method. Invoices are sent out on delivery, say, with a statement at the end of the month for the balance due. If an account hasn't been paid by the end of month 2, it is overdue, and then your customer needs to be contacted. They might supply you with some reasons why it's not being paid, and don't forget to ask them for those reasons. If the invoice continues to be unpaid by the 15th of month 3, you can send an invoice with an overdue stamp on it, asking for payment on the 20th of that month. What we'd also suggest is that you resupply a copy of your terms and conditions or your agreement, just to reiterate what might happen if they default in payment or continue defaulting in payment. Again, if the payment is not made, the best plan of attack is to advise your customer that the unpaid invoice may be escalated to a debt resolution agency. And that's where we come in. I mean, let's face it, you have enough to do in everyday operations that the last thing you want to be doing is spending too much time chasing slow payers. So when you include the likes of EC Credit Control as part of your billing flow, it just frees up some of the time for you to focus on the important stuff, like running your business. Another point to note is that having terms and conditions of trade in place will also make it easier to resolve any disputes that might arise along the way.
Look, I think we've all been guilty of agreeing to jobs with no written agreements. I'm currently getting a job done at home and everything's by text. So I'll see what happens at the end of that. Look, having an agreement sets out clear expectations, and it's from the beginning of the transaction. So it creates a real peace of mind for your business, but not only for your business, it creates a peace of mind for your customer and adds an element of professionalism to your business. So it's time to recognise that sort of in today's market, that handshake deals can and do go wrong. So therefore, what I'd suggest is make sure your terms and conditions of trade are current. Really important. They're completed and they're signed by all parties before you begin the work, not a week in, not 2 weeks in, before you start the work. If you do have a change and you need to put a variation through your agreement, or there's been an extension of the job, then make sure that is in writing and agreed by all parties. That way you're getting authorization from the correct parties to do the work and less likely for disputes or any slow payments. And also think about registering your goods and assets on the PPSR. By doing this, you'll always be in the best position to recover payments or goods should your customer end up non-paying you, or under a worse situation, a liquidation occurs.
It's not really a situation we want our clients to be in, but being in the best possible position is only going to help you moving forward. I touched on it earlier, knowing who you're doing business with at the get-go. Make sure it's done at the commencement of your relationship. It's really important that you know who you're dealing with first, and include it as part of your onboarding process.
Sorry, just got there. So credit reports are a very large part of what we do, and a great solution to include on your onboarding processes. Run a credit check with all potential customers, and it would help you determine not only if they have the ability to pay, but also if they're going to pay you on time. Credit information from the providers that we use is available 24/7. It also means you have an up-to-date risk profile available when you want to check on their performance. And credit reporting will always help you mitigate risk. If you manage it correctly, you'll have all the business and all your directors' client information at your fingertips. And that will assist you in not only making a credit decision, but also an amount for your credit decision.
There is a huge amount of information available through those credit checks. So we do walk our clients through how to read those as well. Can be very helpful. But having a good onboarding process is vital. things can change at the drop of a hat. So we'd actually suggest doing that regularly for your existing customers, especially if you're going to be increasing their credit limits or extending credit to, cash payers. So if you're going to be changing how they pay, make sure you do a credit check. It's so worth it. Another great thing you can set up is alert monitoring. So you can be notified when your customer has had a change of legal name, a change of directorship. You can also check if they are defaulting with any other creditors. It's also a really good way to be notified early of any financial difficulties like receivership or insolvency. So having those sorts of things in place can really help make important decisions faster and in a timely manner. Now, Sean, you and the team help implement terms and conditions almost every day. So talking businesses through the best practice measures is really helpful. But one of the things that clients need to be aware about when it comes to billing processes, there are certain things that they can help with when it comes to being paid on time. What would that be?
Yeah, look, Christina, it's the first two words there, small changes. So it is about making small changes in your processes to ensure that the way your billing is managed, and that can make a huge difference. So I would really encourage you to think about the documents you use for your customer process. Your payment policies need to be clear and they need to be upfront. Repeat them with your quotes, with your emails, and with your invoices. So send your terms and conditions out with everything. This way, the customer they can't say to you they haven't seen the terms and conditions, and they can't use it as an excuse when it comes to non-payment. I didn't see it, I didn't read it, I didn't understand it. Offer a real range of payment terms. This will ensure you get paid sooner and you get paid on time. So yes, most of us, electronic banking is probably the key, but if a client wants to pay by credit card, it's okay to do that. If a surcharge applies, then you can apply it, but make it easy for your client to make the payment, and they will make the payment. Also importantly, stick to your late payment terms. So this will make sure that you get paid on time next time. Like I said, if you're due on the 20th, get paid on the 20th. If they extend it to the 31st for a month, don't allow them to extend that to the 31st for every other month after that. Ensure you remind them to go back to the 20th that following month. Make sure your terms and conditions of trade have the potential debt resolution in the process. As Christina's mentioned, the 7 steps there in the process is available to you, but make sure within your terms you can assist or get assistance and pass on collection costs as well as commissions. That's really important. If you're owed $1,000, you'll get $1,000. And lastly, review those 7 steps to manage your client payments, maybe on a quarterly term. Just continually be doing that. Are we doing this correctly? Are we doing this the best we can? What more could we be doing?
Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Sean. And it's really important to keep reviewing that 7-step process. And don't be scared to on-charge those debt resolution costs to your customers as well, because it shouldn't cost you anything. It should be cost neutral. So there shouldn't be any risk there. So look, I'm sorry, actually, team, this is actually all the time we have today. That 15 minutes went really quickly. So just to summarize what we've covered in today's session, it's all about onboarding your customers the right way. So make sure there are clear signed agreements, carry out the necessary checks for your customers, collate the right information about your customers, and assess and plan non-payment. Have that process in place and then act quickly. I hope you've found some of our insights helpful for your business. Like I said earlier, we will be sending out a copy of today's session via email. And if you want to contact us at any point in time, the details for Sean and I are also on there. So we are going to stop sharing that now.